Even if you're offended, just shut the at me anyways, because
well,
there's no
we've
point.
got 2 more weeks, and
Yeah,
we
exactly.
just want to enjoy each other's company.
Daisy Kelleher, the chief stew, could find herself in another romantic triangle, but it appears to be a fabrication of below-deck sailing yacht producers. Daisy was embroiled in a fiery romantic triangle with former chief engineer Colin McRae and turbulent first mate Gary King during Season 4. Between Seasons 3 and 4, she and Gary had an off-camera relationship, but when Daisy and Colin began elopements, he was unable to hide his love for her any longer. Season 5 of Below Deck Sailing Yacht makes it clear that Gary still has feelings for Daisy. In a confessional early in the season, he acknowledged that he was still drawn to her. Gary also made remarks about Daisy when intoxicated, which would imply that he still has feelings for his former co-worker and buddy. However, considering Chef Cloyce Martin's strange disclosures about Daisy in the most recent episode, he's not the only person on board the Parsifal 3 who is interested in her. Is everything phony? Throughout the season, producers have alluded to Chef Cloyce's interest in Daisy, but his flirtation comes across as phony. Chef Cloyce first acknowledged that he thought Daisy was pretty, but it appeared that his brief romance vanished as they began to argue over service standards. Daisy insisted that she had seniority aboard the Parsifal 3, thus Chef Cloyce had to do things her way, and he had a certain method he wanted her to speak with him. Daisy doesn't appear to have any love emotions for Chef Cloyce, and she considers him to be quite aggravating. She was fed up with Chef Cloyce's conduct when he was 17 minutes early with service during the charter season. She expressed her worries to Captain Glenn Shepherd. The event when Chef Cloyce ordered a cake instead of preparing it for a guest's birthday, which ended badly, was the final straw for her judgment of the chef. Daisy and Chef Cloyce rekindled their spat about service standards in the most recent episode, with Chef Cloyce publicly criticizing Daisy's stews, Danny Warren and Diana Cruz. Unafraid to raise her voice to the 22-year-old cook, Daisy addressed Cloyce. Strangely, when Daisy raged at him, Cloyce responded with a talking head in which he stated that he was drawn to her. Daisy would need to overcome her affections for Chef Cloyce, which would make his confessions seem like it was staged by the producers. Former deckhand Chase Lemax stepped in to rescue the day when Gary and Captain Glenn Shepherd had to terminate deckhand Emma Crouch due to her incapacity and sloth. However, because Emma and Daisy had been sharing a cabin, this presented a challenge for bunking. Daisy and Gary decided to share a room in order to keep the other cabins together. It's obvious that the producers did this to incite romantic tension between Gary and Daisy given their past romance. Despite letting the past go, Gary and Daisy still have a spark in their hearts. Daisy was disproportionately upset with her old buddy Gary when he kissed Danny during a night out while she was intoxicated. She admonished him for pursuing someone so much younger than himself and screamed at him for going back to his old habits. Daisy would certainly claim that this was because she was watching out for Gary, but it's also probable that she still harbors affections for him. Producers are trying to make sure Gary and Daisy hook up again by placing them in the same cabin. Even while Daisy isn't as overt and annoying about it, she shares Gary's tendency to drink excessively on every crew night out. The makers of Below Deck Sailing Yacht have fabricated drama since there isn't enough of it in Season 5. In Season 5 of Below Deck Sailing Yacht, producers have been fixated on making Daisy a villain. Since she is a definite series favorite, this turn of events is unexpected and clearly the result of production manipulation. Even though Daisy is the same as she was in earlier seasons, her stews, Danny and Diana, can't bear her. The two continuously complain, toss Daisy under the bus whenever they can, and attempt to weaken her authority. But their actions have damaged Daisy's reputation. Daisy's antagonistic storyline in Below Deck Sailing Yacht season may 5th be completed by presenting her with another turbulent love triangle. She has no genuine interest in Chef Cloyce, and her relationship with Gary is likely to end poorly. In an effort to shield Gary from his sexual misconduct event, production is attempting to discredit Daisy. Gary becomes the misunderstood nice guy by making Daisy the antagonist. The question of Gary and Daisy's future remains, regardless of whether the production is attempting to set up Daisy's future romantic life. Working well together aboard the Below Deck Sailing Yacht, the two had been friends for many years. They were invincible with Colin by their side. Although their connection is strained in Season 5, it is evident that their chemistry is still present. Although none of them wants to approach the other, they are failing to act in a purely professional manner. Although it may not occur on screen, Daisy and Gary appear to be meant to be together. In an attempt to keep Gary out of trouble, the chief stew takes a maternal approach to his care. However, considering how close they are on the Parsifal 3, they won't be able to avoid one another for very long. Chef Cloyce will not be engaged in any of this. His remarks were used by the producers to influence Daisy's possible romantic life aboard the below-deck sailing yacht.